Hi everyone! In this video we're going to learn how to draw a sphere and its cast shadow in 2-point perspective projection. Before we start, I think it's important for you to know that this is a very simplified method. That means it's a bit inaccurate, but I think it can be useful anyway for you to learn a bit more about this kind of projection and how do we have to use the values for this kind of object. The most appropriate way to draw a sphere in 2-point perspective projection would be to build first an auxiliary cube and the sphere would be inside of it. As I said, we're going to use a more simplified method, and this is pretty much the final result we will get. The position and the size of our sphere would be a bit different, and we will choose a different light source, but this is more or less, as I say, what we will get. We will draw the value scale and then we will apply its gradient, its different shades of gray to the sphere. There's another good thing about the sphere, and it is that it includes all different shades of gray. As you see, there's a very complete variation in the different shades of gray, and we will talk about it a bit later. So you will see the different names these different intensities have. So let's get started. The first thing we will do is to draw our horizontal line 10 centimeters down the upper edge of our sheet of paper. The next thing we have to do is to draw a mark 14 centimeters from the left edge of our sheet of paper and draw a vertical line and the center of the circumference that will be our sphere will be here. Now mark 2 centimeters down the horizontal line on this vertical line and 3 centimeters up. These 5 centimeters will be the diameter of our sphere. So we have to take our compass and mark the radius. The radius of the sphere will be 2.5 centimeters. That's it. Now, from one of the 2 points we have marked, we do a small segment. And this is the center of the sphere. Okay? Now, using this center, we will draw the sphere. Okay, more or less. Now we're going to draw the light source. So it will be 1 centimeter to the right from the left edge of our sheet of paper. This will be the light vanishing point. We will draw the vertical line of the light source. And our light source will be as high as we can in our sheet of paper. So now we have to draw some tangent lines, 2 tangent lines from the light source to the sphere. One over here and another one. The cast shadow will be somewhere around this area and will be an ellipse also tangent to these 2 lines. Let's draw a third line from the light source crossing the center of our sphere. Now we will have to draw an ellipse inside our sphere that marks the division between the part which is facing the light source and the part which is at the back of the sphere, the dark area of the sphere. To do so, we're going to connect the 2 points of tangency we have just found. And we will draw the ellipse by eye. Now we're going to add another line to help us have another reference for a cast shadow. It has to be a tangent line from the light vanishing point. And now we can start drawing our ellipse, the ellipse of our cast shadow. And as we did before, we will do it a bit by eye. More or less. As you see, our cast shadow is another ellipse which is tangent in this point and this one to these 2 lines which are tangent to the sphere. Now we will clean a bit the drawing, erasing the lines we don't need, and later we will add the value scale. We're going to draw our value scale at the top right corner of our sheet of paper. It will be 9 centimeters long and about 2 centimeters high. Now we will start adding values to the scale, and we will use, as before, a B or an HB pencil for the lighter values and a 2B graphite pencil for the darker ones. Let's start with the B pencil, and we will draw the lighter values at the left side of the scale. Now we will add the darker values with a 2B pencil. Now we will apply these values to the drawing. Take into account that always, as we have said before, cast shadow will be darker than core shadow, but even though the darker colors in our core shadow will be around here, there's an area behind at the bottom of the sphere which will be a bit lighter. That is because we have some reflected light over here, which is the light that comes from this surface. The light impact this surface, and the light rays bounce and hit again the sphere. That means this part over here will be not as dark as this part. Let's start with the B or HB pencil very softly. We will now continue with the 2B color to finish darkening the sphere and coloring as well the cast shadow. So that's it. As you see, the closer areas in the cast shadow to the sphere are the darkest one. This is the occlusion area. Near the occlusion area we have the part where the light is reflected. Here we have the core shadow, the darker area in the core shadow. And here we have some mid-tones and some highlights. As we get farther in the cast shadow to the sphere, the shadow starts being a bit lighter. You can try some other option like this one, and as you see in this case, the sphere is in a bit different position. It is a bit bigger, and besides, we have placed the light source a bit lower than in the previous case, and the light vanishing point is under the horizontal line. So in this case, the lighter area in the sphere will be towards us, and the cast shadow will be towards the horizontal line. You see the difference? Moreover, if you see here, the light rays come all from the same point, which is the light source, right? This is a punctual light. Here we have parallel light rays. This happens, for instance, with the light that comes from the sun. If we have a light source which is very big and it's very distant, like a star as the sun, the light rays will come parallel between them instead of forming a cone, you see? This is why the cast shadow is a bit smaller if you compare, and as in the previous case, it will be tangent to these lines as the sphere as well. So that's it. Give it a try, have fun doing some different experiments, and hope you find this video useful. See you in the next one. Bye bye.